Hello everybody, welcome to DRL TV. I'm your host James Pandoff, and the Martinsville 150 is underway for the Dynasty Racing League Truck Series. Steven Sims was your posted as he goes off into the backstretch, leading over the 29 of Adam Free. Sorry about the late start, everybody. Something came up, but we are here, and Taylor Butch Benjamin is alongside me. How are you doing tonight, Taylor?
I'm excited for this one, James. We're going to see typical Martinsville beating and banging, and plus this is the first race of the round of 8, so playoff driver, they know that they're taking into the final round. If they can win this race, they know it's right there to take. So should expect a lot of aggressive driving and see who can cool their temper. As Steven Sims is out to about a 5 truck length lead over Adam Faree. Steven with his second pole of the season. As we complete lap 3, 19 trucks in this field tonight.
Absolutely, should be a good one as Steven Sims is currently half a second lead over the 29. As we take a look back in the field, we go to the 21 of Richard Springer. He's looking to the inside of Roy Grande. He's currently in 9th position. Taking a look at the point standings. 8 drivers remain in the playoffs. This is the final round before Homestead. Right now you see those 4 drivers above the cutoff line. Jeffrey Meyer, Richard Springer, and Adam Faree all have bonus points going for them. The remaining 5 drivers are all at 3,000 points flat. So finishing this is going to be very critical in the next 3 races. We have Martinsville tonight. Then we go to Texas and Phoenix, so 3 completely different track styles for these drivers to have to tame and see who will be the final 4 drivers heading to Homestead.
Yeah, that's what's really good about this schedule here is that you got, like you said, 3 totally different racetracks. I mean, Phoenix is a little similar to Martinsville, but it's going to be tough for these guys to conquer all 3. And like we said, 4 guys are in 3 races in this round, so we know that at least one driver will make it in on points. Right now, Adam Faree has closed the gap a little bit on Steven Sims, and Terrence Ine is right there with his teammate. Only had 2 cautions in the Cup race on Monday night. Wonder how many we'll get tonight.
So far it's looking pretty good as we're about to get to lap number 10. Looking at this battle between the 88 of David Lindahl and the 77 of Roy Grande. This will be for the 10th position. Lindahl had a little bit of a slip up there off the corner, so he's falling back now to the 57 of Jonah Berry.
Yeah, it was a shame what happened in our last race at Talladega that prevented Lindahl from moving on in the playoffs, but it's good to see him still here as we see the 57 behind him clip that curb.
Yeah, that's going to be one thing to watch out for. These guys clipping that curbing, it'll send them right back up to the middle lane. If some of these 2 there outside, that can cause for a big As you see, Terrence Ine all over the back of the 29 trying to take that 2nd position away.
And here he comes. Got the nose, peeking it, and see if Faree lets his teammate go. See if Ine really rolled the center pretty well. That's the main key of this racetrack is to, I mean, do you want to slow the car down when you're still in a straight line before you get to these corners, and since these corners are so tight and are kind of like a hairpin, really want to roll the center and get back to the gas without spinning the rear tires. Whoever's going to do that, whoever does that the best tonight is going to have a really good race.
As you see, it's about a 6-car breakaway, and then we go to 7th place to Dakota Wilkins. He's leading the 2nd group of trucks. Right behind him is Adam Gonzalez. Wilkins is high off the corner. He might have overthrown that entryway, and 58's right up to his back bumper now.
On about 5 or 6 more laps, Steven Sims, the leader, will be catching some lap trucks. We know how much of a factor lap traffic is here at Vanderkooi, the 72, the first one they'll catch, as well as Trent Helton, the 09 truck.
And you see how Adam Purcell is able to roll the corner very nicely, trying to get to the inside of Dakota Wilkins. He might have a look there. No, Dakota closes the door on him.
And Purcell, he didn't get the qualifying run he was looking for, but he looked really strong on the short runs, and kind of after he ran a little bit as he takes that spot from Wilkins. And Purcell, he knows he's got to make something happen tonight, because he is the only playoff driver that's still alive that with a chance to make the Final Four that has not won this year. Oh, behind him, Richard Springer gets in the back of Dakota Wilkins, but he saves it, and we will stay green.
Yep, that caused a jam between the 77 now looking to the inside of the 44. Let's see if we can get a replay of that real quick. Down into one, you see the 44 very sideways off the corner there, but he's able to get up on the curb and keeps it straight.
I think Richard Springer just kind of overcooked it getting into that corner. Really, that's really difficult to judge because all these drivers have different braking points. Lucky to get away with it.
Up to the lap traffic, who's actually staying high, letting these leaders go by. That's a great move on his part, very generous. As the 30 is all over the backbone for Steven Sims. 20 laps complete. Steven Sims led all of them, but that might not be the case for long. As Tansinet is looking very good, a tenth faster than the 79 of Steven Sims that time by.
Yeah, even though the lap truck of Vanderkooi gave him room, I mean, it's amazing once they start catching them, just how quickly the guy in second and third catches right back up to the leader. Oh, man, he's sending it into the corner. Sims up over the curb, gets a little sideways, and now Sine will try and make it work on the outside.
Hanging tough to that outside, but as we know, the inside line is the preferred line. But he's making a stick. He might be able to clear him on the backstretch.
He should. Wow, that's an impressive pass.
A power move there by the 30 of Terrence Sine.
Wonder if some guys might be taking notes of that to realize that as we're on lap 23 now, that if we get further along in the run, that maybe the outside start going up there and making some passes.
On board with Steven Sims as you see him round turn 4 coming to the front straightaway, and Terrence Sine just doing a fantastic job getting run off the corners. Really able to roll through the corners.
That's where Sims is starting to lose some of his time. Sine wheeling it off the second corner. But yeah, that's definitely a very important thing to master at this racetrack, is to get the drive off the corner and stay in the gas without spinning the rear tires.
Lap traffic going to be a factor in a second. Trent Helton is that driver in the 09. A little bit of damage on his rear bumper.
He's already been in the wall, it looks like. He stays highest for the leaders.
Get a closer look at that damage. A big hit on the right side. It looks like somebody might have hit him on maybe the start of the race. Not really sure when that might have occurred.
Coming up down lap, Cody Gatsky in the 27 came so close to making it into the final round. Almost had a shot at winning at Talladega before they wrecked coming to the line. Oh, that's tight right there. And Jared Rogers was just able to beat everybody to the line to put himself in and to knock Gatsky out.
I've noticed lap traffic so far has been very
they've been very generous.
Yeah. As Matt Vanderkooi is down pit lane.
Unfortunately, he's going to lose another 2 or 3 laps. His pit road speed's 35 miles an hour, and it takes about 20 seconds or so to get around this place. That's something else we're going to be talking about later on when we get a caution, and how about now just how little time these guys will have to make a pit stop and not lose a lap just by making a normal pit stop, because these caution laps, they're pretty quick around here.
As you're on board with 5th place Robbie Armstrong, he's having himself quite a playoff run. He's right behind the 26th Daniel Holloway.
Unfortunately, our champion from a year ago won't be able to repeat, but still looking and still knocking on the door of that first Dynasty Racing League truck win. Points leader Jeffrey Meyer stalking him in 6th.
Jeffrey Meyer has a very good cushion going in to this round. He just needs a couple good finishes, and he can afford himself a DNF here in this round, and he should be okay to make it to Homestead based on the points.
Yeah, unless there's a real major disaster in these 3 races, he's pretty much, I mean, not officially locked in, but he's still looking pretty good. Plus, we know how much he loves Texas, and of course that's next week. So he is caught up to this. He's the caboose in this 6-truck train here.
Coming back to our leader, he's about half a second in front of that 79 of Steven Sims. Adam Free all over that back bumper. He's going to try to take us to 2nd position.
Free knocking on the back bumper of Steven Sims. Free definitely taking advantage of the bonus points he got this season with his 3 wins. But you can see just how different some of these guys are driving their trucks. A lot of them are really charging the corner and attacking it, and some guys are easing it in there and trying to get a good run off.
On board with the 29 Adam Free. You can hear just how little time they are on the throttle. These straightaways are very short, a lot of braking, and you got to really be able to roll your car through the center to be able to make that apex and get a good run off.
And that shows you right there. They're only, 3 seconds or so that they're on the straightaway before you're right back in the middle of the corner again. Next truck that Sine will catch up front will be Adam Breeden in the 01. Sine is still fastest truck on the racetrack at this point in time. I mean, the margin might say 6-7 tenths of a second, but on a short track, that's quite a lot. As they work their way by the 01 without any issues. Some of these playoff guys, if they don't pick it up soon, they might go a lap down, like Richard Springer back in 12th, as well as Austin Collins in 14th.
Absolutely, Terrence Sine setting a fabulous pace here at the moment, and if these guys are wanting to do a strategy, I think pitting soon, maybe within 10 laps, might be worth the risk and try to get a good position out of it, as you can go on one tank of fuel, one green tank pit stop. It's about 100 laps, if I'm not mistaken, so if these guys decide to pit soon, they could try to run it out the rest of the way by pitting early.
And it's not like back about 10 years ago where you could probably make it all the way in 150 laps, but based on, because back then that was with 22-gallon fuel tanks, but now with only like I think 18.3 or something like that. Good battle here between Holloway and Armstrong for 4th and 5th.
Armstrong's really working the middle line, and then he dives down to that yellow curb and off the exits.
Yeah, he is another guy that looked really good in practice, and this is a home track for old Robbie. Actually met him at Richmond a few years, actually last year. So, right in front of the. Holloway got a little damage out of that, but that's nothing serious.
Let's take a look at close at Hummer Sims might have sustained. Aerodynamics isn't that big of a deal here at a short track like Martinsville. You do see a little crinkle there. He should be okay. I don't think he got much engine damage out of it.
Yeah, you can afford to beat and bang and afford some aerodynamic damage, because it doesn't really play much of a role here. But as long as you don't knock some of the power out of your truck, you'll be fine. See Robbie diving down, using that line they were talking about, James. Holloway shuts the door on him.
Yeah, Robbie thought better of it. As we approach lap 50, at the completion of this lap, we will have 100 laps to go for the Dynasty Racing League Truck Series at Martinsville.
This is great to see. Already a third of the way complete and still no caution flags.
Yeah, this series has really stepped it up as of late. It did take a little while, I'm not going to lie.
But David Lundahl up the hill.
Have definitely shown what they are capable of.
I mean, compared to, we had 8 cautions in the spring race here. Yeah, these guys have definitely improved over the course of the season. Well, all of a sudden, we're focused on the battle back here between Holloway and Armstrong, but Sine up front in the lead has opened up now a second and a half. Yeah. That'll make it 1.7 as Ferree has gotten around Steven Sims for 2nd place.
Yeah, we'll see if this lap traffic holds up Sine at all. As there goes Cody Gasky to the outside, allowing the 30 to get around him.
Well, Steven Sims actually sustained some aerodynamic damage to the front end of his truck. Try to pan back and see where that came from. Oh, that was actually, it looked like he wheel hopped into the back of David Lundahl's truck. And that's how Ferree got by him, okay. See, Austin Collins, the next driver that Sine has in front of him to put a lap down. Definitely not what he was expecting, because he ran a slow qualifying lap purposely to start in the back and maybe expecting some early cautions, but that has not happened as the 99 does go 1 lap down. And not too far in front of the leader is Jared Rogers and Richard Springer, 2 more Chase drivers on the verge of getting lapped.
Too wide in front of Sine. Looks like that might have got sorted out quickly, and that should not be a problem. But you see there, the 9 truck, last week's winner at Talladega, Jared Rogers, about to be put a lap down. Looks like Jared has a little bit of damage to his machine as well. Taking a little closer look at that, you see a little bit of an indent there in the middle of his truck.
Plus a little bit on the right front. Yeah, but Sine is picking him up and mowing him down here as we're now down to just 12 drivers on the lead lap out of the 19 that started. And both Highwaymen Motorsport drivers a lap down, Collins as well as Rogers, and now Richard Springer, actually, well, first Cody Barber, but then Sine will be coming up on Springer. See Daniel Holloway closing in to Steven Sims' back bumper to try to take over third. Everybody still, I mean, looks to be treating each other with pretty good respect so far. I mean, we know how tempers can fly here at Martinsville. We even saw on Monday night two of the most low-key guys in all of iRacing go at each other, John Theodore and Wade Husted. So it's good to see these guys minding their manners so far.
Yeah, we still got a little over halfway.
It might not last, but it's good to see this good stretch of green flag racing now 65 laps in. And that is a good question you brought up earlier, James, is if these guys, if it does stay under green, like when will they come to pit road? Because we know you'll lose 2 laps under green, and if a caution comes out then you're pretty much
Grande's coming down to pit. Yeah, we saw in the Cup Series race on Monday, Kanan Honeycutt was the last driver to pit off the lead lap. He was in the lead, and he almost got passed for that lead. If he stayed out another lap, he would have been back in fourth. Second, third, and fourth were all the way bunched up together right behind him when he came out. So staying out could really cost you, but you definitely don't want to pit too early. That your old tires will affect how you handle it by the end of the race.
I mean, Sine's pace has not dropped off that much. I mean, his best lap is a 19.708, and he's still in the 24 and 3 mark. So, I mean, he's setting a blistering pace at this point with a 1.7 second lead.
Yeah, he was about a half of a tenth faster than Adam Free that last time by.
And right in front of him is that 21 Toyota of Richard Springer, desperately begging for a caution to try to stay on the lead lap. Right now, Cody Barber in the 28 truck would be the free pass if we were to get one right now.
Oh, contact 79.
Oh, Steven Sims, there it is. Finally, if our first caution of the race comes out on lap 71.
Let's see if we can
comes out for our pole leader, Steven Sims. It looks like
Robbie Armstrong just gets into him, and not a whole lot of damage there for Steven Sims. He was able to keep it out of the wall. So that's good news for him.
I think trying to diagnose what took place here. It looked like Robbie.
He just tried to stick his nose to that inside, and Steven, not sure if Steven knew he was there, if he was going to do that, and ended up getting clipped.
Yeah, a slight bit of net code there, but that's kind of a tough one to call, as Robbie is a little farther up the track than Steven probably would have anticipated. Robbie did a good job. He saw him climb over the curb and did a great job keeping their truck. Both of them really did a great job of keeping their trucks under control. But as Terrence and A off pit road first, now these guys won't have to worry about pitting under green like we were talking about.
Yeah, this should be the one and done pit
stop. Terrence and A looks like he's slowing down. He might have just sped on pit road. Wow, what a shame if that is indeed the case.
Well, if he can set that pace he did just now in next stage green, I think he'll be back up to the front in no time. He just has to make sure he doesn't burn off his tires in the process.
Well, that's the thing. He's going to be starting even behind the lap down truck, so he'll be starting 17th in line, maybe 18th in line. Wow. Let's see. Not sure if he might be in the mood to talk, but see if I can grab old Mr. Sims to the booth. Hey, Steven Sims, you got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Well, we were a little late getting on the air, so congrats on the poll, but what took place there between you and Robbie Armstrong?
I think he was showing inside, but he wasn't there, and I went committed to the corner, and he just, excuse me, he just outbraked me a little bit, and just race control said it was net code, so I mean, not much.
Yeah, there was a slight bit of net code involved there, but it definitely looked like just a simple racing accident. You know, aero's not that big of a deal here, so I think you should be okay. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it should be fine. Well, see if I can get back up there.
We're about to go green here, so we're going to let you go, but thanks for talking to us, Steven, and good luck.
Yeah, one to go kind of snuck off on me right there, as Adam Ferree is now the race leader, and we're back underway.
Great restart there for you see Steven Sims gets to the inside very quickly on Dakota Wilkins. He's going to probably get that position going into 2 and 3. We'll see what happens here with Adam Purcell right in front of them.
Well, Adam Ferree definitely not wanting to see his teammate get a speeding penalty here, but he does assume the lead and is setting sail, get himself a bonus point, but he's looking for more than that, trying to win this show, try to guarantee his spot in the Homestead for the Final Four.
And there goes Tanzania already up to the ninth position. It's moving on fast.
Caution was a big break for a lot of people, including Richard Springer, like we documented, was just in front of the race leader when that caution came out. And now Ferree's starting to stretch it out. I mean, that just shows just how much being out in front of these short tracks without having anybody in front of you, you can hit your break point where you want to. And he's already out to a full second lead as here comes Robbie Armstrong. Going to try to make this pass on Daniel Holloway, and behind him Jeffrey Meyer filling up his rear view mirror.
Looks like Robbie's going to try the inside. I think he's testing Holloway to see when he can make it. Obviously, he doesn't want the better run off. If he attempts it, he doesn't want to end up doing what he just did with the 79.
Yeah. I was about to say it might be a little bit gun shy based on what just happened with Sims.
Oh, there he goes.
Not quite. Ferree is loving what's going on behind him, as he has been a tenth faster. But Anna Purcell up the hill. Actually kind of climbed up the wall entering turn 1 and got up out of the groove, but He maintains the 6th position. Behind him, Jordan Berry and Dakota Wilkins. Wilkins gets turned. Oh gosh, hard hit. Terrence Ane is in it. Wow. Well, that's what happens when you get a pit road penalty, even when you have the dominant truck, and well, that just sums up Terrence Ane's season. And Dakota Wilkins, this is big trouble for him. Look at the smoke rolling out the back of that Chevy.
As you see right there, Jordan Berry taps him and gets him sideways. Dakota tries to step on it to get to the inside and let everybody go by, and Terrence Ane was right there and ended up hitting him inside. Let's see if we can get a better...
Oh, yeah. Well, I noticed in the center of the corner that Berry clipped the curb, but it looked like everything was going to be okay. But then they just came together off turn 2, and I mean, Dakota was trying to do the right thing to try to spin the truck down towards the, out of harm's way down to the bottom, but Terrence Ane, that's where he committed to and just ended up with nowhere to go there. That's really too bad.
And you see a lot of front end damage to the 30.
Yeah, that's going to be enough damage to really hurt that truck. And Wilkins, he's got bigger trouble. As he probably is a meatball flag, and see him going a lap down already.
And if you take a look at our point standings, he was right there at the 3,000 mark.
Yeah, he came in here, well, technically
3003, excuse me, he does have a win.
He was technically tied with Holloway, Wilkins, or Holloway, Collins, and Rogers, all having 1 win. But this is definitely gonna put a damper on his chances to make the Final 4, unless, of course, he wins one of these last 2 races. And Terrence Ane has disconnected from the server. That's really a shame. Having the dominant truck of the night and then gets caught with a pit road penalty. So all the leaders stayed out under this caution.
Will we get the one to go signal here? I believe we will, and we will. Looks like Adam Free will elect the inside line.
Yeah, that's going to be the pick all night, unless you got a teammate that might be willing to work with you and let you down in line. But try this again. Pace car ducks off. We're going to have 60 laps to go as the field comes by to restart. And the green flag is back out. Holloway has a hole to his inside to go down into.
Not for long though, as Robbie Armstrong tried to take it away, but he was not quite able to get there, so Holloway will be able to get to that inside and block any possible.
Oh man, look at this action in the back of the field. Now we're gonna start to see the intensity ratchet up.
Yeah, we're gonna start seeing a lot of bumpers used as there's almost 50 laps to go.
Yeah, these guys, I mean, they see what the 30 was able to do earlier and what the 29's been doing the last 15 laps. Just how important being out front is. I mean, they're really going to be going as hard as they can go right here, as I could imagine. I caution a break for Jared Rogers. He got the lucky dog and got it back on the lead lap. Although he's still stuck back here in amongst some lap cars. Lap trucks, excuse me. Armstrong again, taking to the inside of Holloway. Can't quite make it work. Robbie knows he's not in the playoffs anymore, so he doesn't want to mess up any chase guys, although at the same time he wants to... He's still going to battle these guys hard because we know just how badly he wants to pick up his first truck win. As he's got to run this time. See how far he drives it in. Holloway gives him the room. He's got the pass. Now will Holloway do a crossover on him?
I don't think he had that good of a run. He's not going to be able to do so. So Robbie Armstrong will be able to secure second for the meantime. Now he has
a little body slam right there. Richard Springer kind of just kind of used up Jordan Berry right there. And now Jordan Berry's stuck on that top side.
Looks like he's able to slide in behind the 88. Not for long though, as he...
Oh, he got another tag right there by Cody Barber. Saying, come on guys, my first race back in a while, you treat me like this? That's what happens on these short tracks.
Adam Free has a second and a half advantage over second place Robbie Armstrong, with what's going to be 50 laps to go when they get to the line.
See Robbie beating Holloway from the center off. Looks like Richard Springer has gotten around Adam Purcell for I believe sixth place. How about David Lindahl? We saw him go a lap down, almost 2 laps down, but I believe he took the wave around under the first caution to get back on the lead lap, and now that he got the second caution, he's up here in the thick of things. See a truck blinking in the back there. Look like the 01, Breeden. Kind of laps they're turning right here. Robbie just a little bit faster, actually a full 10th and a half almost that last lap. Yeah, both Robbie and David Lindahl, they're still down in the 19.9s. Yeah, 3 truck is slowly gaining on that 29. Still, see, they're not going to catch any lap traffic for quite a while, it doesn't look like. As we see Dakota Wilkins return to the track, 19 laps down in 16th position.
We see a little build-up happening behind Jeffrey Meyer, the 26th and the 79, along with Richard Springer in that 21.
Yeah, Meyer was able to get by Holloway. I think Holloway, he's just kind of holding these guys up a little bit, but you know, he's got to fight for every spot he can get and try to stay above the cut line. Of course, he came in here right on the cut line. Yeah, Armstrong, little by little, still closing the gap on Adam Faree. See, Adam ran a 20.053. So that time just to tick faster than Armstrong that time. They had to deal with a lap truck of Wilkins. See what the gap is this time. Faria 178, or Robbie a 179, so now they're starting to match each other.
As the laps are winding down, Armstrong almost a second behind the 29. Will he have enough in him to catch and pass the 29 for his first ever Martinsville win?
Gained about a tenth on him that time.
As you see Steven Sims all over the back bumper of Daniel Holloway, he's going to try to move into that 4th position, as Jeffrey Myron has now been able to gap the 26, his teammate, a little bit.
Yeah, you can definitely tell Holloway's kind of hanging on for dear life right now. He's definitely hoping for a caution, just as long as it's not him. And now the gap up front is less than a second. It's now down just under 9/10. Armstrong about a tenth faster once again, so I mean if he keeps this pace up, he'll be there within another 10 laps or so. Maybe not even that long.
Yeah, he's closing the gap very quickly now, less than 3/4 of a second.
See how, yep, another tenth. I was about ready to think, like, how aggressive do you think Robbie would be? Would he move Adam out of the way to try to get his first win? But there's obviously plenty of laps left, and he's fast enough that he might not even need to.
Cody Gasky doing a great job getting out of the leader's way.
Got two different mindsets up front here. Got Armstrong desperately wanting that first win to try to prove that his championship a year ago was no fluke. And we've got Ferree trying to punch his ticket to Homestead. Armstrong just about a lane up off the bottom. I think that's really helping that truck rotate through the center. See him gain a tenth and a half that time. See him go by Wilkins. As we now, next time around it'll be 30 laps to go. Like we know, the old racing cliche, catching somebody is one thing, but passing them is a whole nother story.
Well, Robbie Armstrong is going to have 30 laps to try to pass him, and those laps can go by very quickly. It's only 20 seconds a lap here. That's 3 laps in a minute. Roughly 10 minutes left of racing, if there's no caution.
Got some pretty clean track up in front of him for a while, so it's just basically man on man right now. And now Ferree's starting to move just a slight little bit off the bottom.
I can only imagine what is going through Robbie Armstrong's mind right now, as he's so close and has been so close multiple times to winning his first Dynasty Racing League race. And here he is yet again.
Gotta imagine what's going through Adam's mind too. I mean, you're saying, come on man, I'm trying to get to Homestead.
That is true. If Adam Ferree can win here, and as long as he attends the next 2 races in the round, he is automatically going to Homestead.
And if if these two get together, Jeffrey Meyer might be right there to capitalize. Not even that time. Well, now that Robbie has gotten to his rear bumper, wonder just how long he might wait to try to make the pass, or if we'll see if maybe that 3 truck goes away a little bit as he has made this rapid charge up to his back bumper. But I mean, he still looks to be in the catbird seat right now.
Yeah, he definitely has something going. A lap truck, which we see Wilkins, it looks like he's going to stay out of the way. I was going to say if lap truck unintentionally would have slowed up to 29 just a little bit, I think Robbie Armstrong would try to dive his nose to his inside and try to make that pass, but clean track ahead of him once again.
See, you just see the line that Armstrong's taking, driving in a little bit harder, washing out a little bit in the center, and cutting it back down. Oh no!
Wheel hopping there into 3.
Boy, that's almost drilled the back of the 29 truck, but they sorted it out. Still didn't really lose that much.
He didn't lose a whole lot, but now he's got to refocus himself. He can't get too anxious and just continue overdriving it. He's got to stay determined, keep focused on what he's doing, and get back at him.
There's now 20 laps to go. You're at the paperclip. What a battle we're seeing right now, and who knows what might happen in these next 20 laps. As Armstrong's come from about a second and a half back to challenge Adam Faree for his first win. And will he make it green the rest of the way? We've only had 2 cautions to this point.
He's caught his back bumper again. He closed about a 10th each of the last 2 laps.
Yeah, he's definitely got to put that little bobble he had out of his mind and just focus on right now.
Knowing how close Robbie has come to getting his first win, I'm wondering if he would be using his bumper to be able to get that win. I know he's outside the playoffs and Adam Faree is inside, but I wonder if Robbie Armstrong has thought about doing that because he's come so.
Oh, he really gained up right there. And don't look now, but Jeffrey Meyer ran a 10th faster than both of these guys a lap ago, so he might not be out of this just yet. As they lap by Dakota Wilkins again. He is now 22 laps down. Roy Grande has actually dropped out of the race, so that's one spot that Dakota can pick up. One more point that he can gain.
As you see, Adam Breeden is the next truck in front of these leaders. Breeden is also 1 lap down. I believe he'll very willingly get out of the way. He's not.
Oh, caution is out. Got a wreck on the front stretch. It's Austin Collins.
99 of Austin Collins around. Let's see if
just
we can.
Just a self spin off turn 4. Maybe got in the gas just a little bit too hard, and slid into the inside wall. And he was in the free pass position. He wanted a caution flag, but unfortunately he caused it. So now the situation turns to pit road. Adam Faree pits. Robbie Armstrong does not. Jeffrey Meyer does not.
Coming off of turn 4, he just gets throttle happy and ends up hitting the inside wall. That is very unfortunate for him. And we'll just have to see what happens for the remaining less than 10 laps when we go back racing.
Boy, a split decision on these pit stops here. As Free came, the next 4 behind him did not. So this restart order will be Armstrong, Meyer, Holloway, and Sims, as well as David Lindahl. And then everybody else, led by Faree, came on the pit road.
The question is going to be, did Jeffrey Meyer save enough of his tires while the 3 Robbie Armstrong was using his up trying to get to and by the 29 multiple attempts? Does the 50 have better tires on him than the 3?
That is a very good question, because looked like he was gaining on him just a little bit as the 29 and the 3 were battling each other. But wow. Adam Faree, he's going to be starting 6th on the outside for this restart. Boy, we're going to know shortly whether this was the right call or not. It's a big gamble, in my opinion. Let's try to pull Mr. Faree into the booth real quick while we have just a brief moment. Hey, Adam Faree, you got a copy, sir?
Copy.
Well, certainly not what you were hoping for, I guess, with that caution coming out, but how about the call you made to come get tires, and you'll be starting on the outside for this restart? You think you can get it done?
Probably not. I mean, that was kind of one of those situations where if I stayed out, everyone was going to pit. If I pitted, everyone was going to stay out.
Yeah, definitely a tough position. It looked like you and Robbie were going to have a great battle, but pace car is off, so we'll let you go. Good luck.
Thank you. Have a good one.
As Robbie Armstrong leads him to green, a great start there by the 3 Robbie Armstrong. Looks like Holloway is going to get in. No, he's going to let his teammate Jeffrey Meyer get to his inside and keep that 2nd position. It's going to be a heck of a battle behind him.
Well, Faree is boxed in right now.
We got Lindahl, Faree, Sims, the 21, which is...
Oh, he's trying to get to the bumper.
I don't know, Taylor. I don't think these guys are going to be able to make it to the end. The intensity is the highest it's ever been.
It's going to be tough.
Go.
Oh, there goes Lindahl. Caution is out. Got more spinners behind him.
Traffic jam.
Garrett Rogers backwards, hitting the outside wall. So this might lead to a green-white checkered finish. Boy, that looked like... Man, that looked like the truck race from the real-life truck race. How they just all bottled off turn 4. Adam Purcell got turned around.
Yeah, on board with that.
That was very bizarre looking. Looked like
he just gets into the back of the 88 and the 21. Looks like he got neck coated.
Yeah, he got neck coated.
And then everybody behind him just had to go.
Oh. Well, certainly not what Adam Purcell wanted to do, is to get into Richard Springer. Of course, he's kind of aligned with dysfunctional Patriots racing a little bit now. But, man, what a tough situation. But Faree made it through. He'll be 5th he'll be on the bottom.
I don't think it's going to be green-white checkered. I think we'll have a restart under regulation, and if there is a caution, then we will have green-white checkered attempt.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Because we're at 5 to go now. We'll just have to see when these guys double file up.
Well, what a tough break for some of those guys, like David Lindahl, who he was running about in the top 5 when that happened.
Yeah, I just had a feeling
Richard Springer, despite getting turned around and suffering quite a bit of damage, he's still being scored in 6th. Still 11 trucks on the lead lap.
Collins is in pit lane.
Adam Purcell getting the EOL. That might be costly because he was probably I think he got trapped by the pace car based on how it works here at Martinsville if you're stopped on the track for a certain period of time. So
it looks like iRacing might be bringing them to the green-white checkered attempt.
Not sure. Well, I guess it depends on if it's 2 to gear right here. We'll have technically a green-white checkered, but it won't be overtime. Let's see.
Yeah, there it is.
Yes.
151.
Okay.
So this is
I was actually a lap behind. So yes, this green-white checkered attempt and the only attempt. So Robbie Armstrong.
If there's a caution, that will end the race, ladies and gentlemen. Robbie Armstrong has 2 laps to do it to get his first career Dynasty Racing League Truck Series win.
When does he take off?
Points leader Jeffrey Meyer to his outside. Green flag.
There he goes. He gets a pretty good jump.
Green
Meyer
flag there by the 3, Robbie Armstrong. He dodged down into turn 1. Jeffrey Meyer
trying to get to the bumper. Over there, all over the place behind him.
Going down into 3.
They're going to make it to the white flag.
All right, Robbie Armstrong has 2 corners to go. Jeffrey Meyer right behind him. We know Jeffrey Meyer is a very clean racer, but will he use the bumper?
Oh, he's trying to. He's going to have one last chance. Oh, he lost a lot of ground right there.
He wiggled. That should do it for Robbie Armstrong as long as he does not overdrive the corner.
Some bumpers being pushed around in the back, but Robbie Armstrong finally gets his first win in the Truck Series, and the wrecking behind him, Steven Sims. Wow, what a great job for Robbie Armstrong.
Oh, big 29 got shot, it looks like, and he lost a few positions at the 21.79 right before the line. But the story is Robbie Armstrong, who gets
finally, at long last. That's great to see. I mean, a very, very nice gentleman, Robbie Armstrong is. Certainly well liked within this league, and getting some congratulatory taps from Bad Boys Racing drivers, and he's ready to celebrate.
Yeah, I think he's going to burn him down.
Well, he might.
There he goes.
Okay, there he goes. Of course, there's not much room on this racetrack to do a burnout. Gotta hand it to Jeffrey Meyer, too, because, I mean, coming to the white flag, he could have bumped him out of the way, but he lost just enough ground off turn 2 on the white flag lap to not have that chance going into 3 and 4 for the last time.
Looks like he's going to pull it up. Hey, Robbie Armstrong.
Robbie, you got a copy, buddy?
Broadcast booth. You have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, sir, you finally did it. Your first career win in Dynasty Racing League here at the Paperclip. Walk us through those final restarts.
Man, I knew on a long green run that I was fast, and we got that caution, and I was only running about 4/10 slower, and I was like, you know what? I got nothing to lose. I think I can be easy on the start, get a little lead, and maintain. And I was able to pull it off. It sucks for Ree, but that's just the way it goes. And I think I was going to get him there at the end. I would have liked for it to go on green and see what happened. But we had a good, fun, clean race. Daniel raced me clean. Jeffrey, we ran together the whole race. So it was a great time. This is a long time coming. Man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, certainly well-deserved. And we were seeing just how it was going to be a great battle between you and Adam had it stayed green, but we had just talked to Adam actually, and his decision to come down pit road, and he basically said that he kind of was going to be a sitting duck basically because he was the leader. He felt like if he stayed out, others would pit and vice versa. So, I mean, that definitely opened the door for you, and you were running some great laps. Talk about this.
Yeah, it's just something about Martinsville. ever since I was a kid. I've loved it. Any games, any chance I got to race Martinsville, riding around in a pace car, walk it, I love it. And just something about that flat track here in Virginia. It's a great race, and I'm glad it was here. I got.
It definitely makes sense for a Virginia boy to come away with the win here at Martinsville. Certainly a long time coming. Who do you got to thank for this race, man?
Well, I definitely got to thank Dysfunctional Patriots Racing. Those guys were awesome. We get in there, we hang out, we have a good time, we joke around, we beat and bang with each other. The Adam Breeden's been with us, and Cody, he's really picked up. And then the other Adam, he's been racing with us last couple of weeks. He's great. He's gave some great advice. A lot of knowledge. So it's been a great time. Thank you all for broadcasting. I wasn't sure if it was going to go on tonight, but I'm glad it is. Thanks for all the time y'all put in. It kind of sucks with my work schedule and then the server issue. I missed the first 2 races of the playoffs, but we're going to try to finish strong here.
Well, I'll tell you what. If I go on your Facebook tomorrow and I don't see this race published on your page, I'm going to be upset with you. So,
yeah, I'm sure it will be up there. So.
Well, congratulations, my friend. Go celebrate this one. And, of course, we got Texas coming up next week, and we know how strong you ran the first time we were there.
Yeah, we try to go for 2 in a row. And then I do want to give a shout-out and apology to Daniel. Last week I kind of cost him the win. He did get a top 5, and I apologize a lot. I really did feel bad for that. So I'm sorry.
All right, Robbie. Congratulations on your win, man. Definitely well deserved, and we'll see you next week at Texas.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Definitely got that monkey off his back, and it's about time, I must say.
Yeah,
let's bring in. Yep, as you could imagine. Let's bring in Jeffrey Meyer. We got a copy, Mr. Myers, the broadcast booth.
I'm here.
Well, from 7th to 2nd tonight, we know you had a golden ticket into the next round right in front of you there, but what would you have done differently? We know we kind of saw you lose a little bit of ground off turn 2 on the white flag lap. If you were close enough, how desperate or how willing would you have been to put the bumper to Robbie?
Almost got into him. I wasn't going to turn anybody for the win, so I was just racing. If I could get around him, if he screwed up, I'd take my shot. But I wasn't going to punt him to win. I was happy to come out of here with a 2nd.
Yeah, definitely very clean racing between you two. We just talked to Robbie. He was very much appreciative of that. Looked like you were gaining on he and Adam on that run before we got that late caution. Do you think? How do you think that would have turned out if it stayed green?
I don't know. I'd gain a couple tenths and I'd break even, and then I'd gain a couple, and I don't know if I'd have caught him or not. If those guys would have kept fighting each other, who knows? Maybe they'd have taken each other out. I'd have got an easy win, but I was just going to ride, play it, let it play out, and let the chips fall where they may, because you're just happy to get out of here with a top 5 and no incidents.
That's right. Not a scratch on that truck based on what I can see here. And of course, we go to your favorite place, Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I figure if I can get out of here with a good point stay, then I can go to Texas and kind of just relax and hopefully pull out my win there.
We certainly appreciate the time. Jeffrey, got any quick shout-outs before we let you go?
I got to give a shout-out to my teammates, Daniel and Steven. We all worked really good together to keep our positions, and when somebody was faster, we let them by just so we could keep rolling, and it was really good teamwork between us 3, so that was a big plus to us finishing where we did. Everybody for running a good race. There wasn't many cautions. It was a good race. All the drivers did really well, and it was fun to get a lot of laps in.
Hey, you guys,
Go ahead.
go ahead. I'm gonna say you guys definitely put on a great show. Only 4 caution flags and 150 laps. Certainly great to watch. I appreciate the time, and I would tell you to go get you some practice at Texas, but you don't really need much, do you?
I've been running all this week, so I'll get some practice in still. I haven't been running much for fixed, but I did one fix, started in the pits and finished second, so we'll see how it rolls.
Well, if that's the case, then some bad news for the rest of the field. But certainly appreciate the time, and well, I'll see you on Saturday night for the Unified League, but we'll see you back here next Wednesday night when we go to Texas. So have a good rest of the week, man.
All right, thanks.
All right, and that'll lead us to Daniel Holloway. Came home P3 tonight. Mr. Holloway, you got a copy?
I sure do.
Well, kind of an uneventful night for you, except the little issue with a lap truck early on, but kind of no harm, no foul, and you come on with a podium finish. Walk us through your evening.
Interesting race towards the end there. Just you had to be conservative. Stayed in top 5, top 4. I knew Robbie was good on the longer runs, and I don't know if that damage in the front when tagged with the lap car changed the truck a little bit, and didn't have the longer speeds. But towards the end there, that was pretty interesting with a couple cautions left and 12:15 to go, and I was kind of surprised to see Adam pit, but that was one of the playoff chase and ended up not winning. So, and then congrats on Robbie for winning that. So long time due for him.
Yeah, we had talked to Adam just after he decided to pit, and he felt like he was a sitting duck. Like if he was, since he was leading, he figured others would pit if he stayed out, and that whole situation. But it certainly worked out for you staying out in a pretty clean night overall.
Yeah, it sure was. I know right there at the end of that white flag, there was a lot of beating and banging, but hey, that's wanting to go and trying to get all the points you can for anybody, pretty much, even playoff drivers and stuff. So, shout out to Bad Boys Racing. Those chickens are scary at times when we're up front.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Certainly great to see you up here with vintage short track racing there at the end. But were you surprised, Daniel, how few cautions we had? We only had 4 all night long, and didn't get. We only it took 70 laps to get the first one.
No, I'm not surprised. I mean, everybody was pretty clean. Everybody was, being respectful out there tonight, and I'm not sure what happened on that first caution. But I heard a little bit of neck code, but can't do nothing about that. But real good job with everybody tonight. I don't know, 16, 17 drivers. Everybody was pretty good. Gave room. Good tight battles and stuff like that, especially up front. Top 5, 6 trucks. There wasn't no separations at all towards the end on the longer runs, but it was a good race tonight.
Yeah, you guys definitely put on a terrific show. Me and James can confirm that. We go to Texas next week. We know how confident and dominant your teammate has been there. How about yourself? How do you feel about your chances?
And I like Texas. Good track. There was a couple of times where I could have won it with fuel mileage, but me and Jeff are pretty strong in there, so we're looking for next week.
Well, we certainly appreciate the time. Congrats again on the 3rd place finish, and we'll see you next week, bud.
Thanks, guys. Just want to shout out to you guys on the broadcast and teammates and everybody. And congrats, Robbie, again on the win. Long time due for that win, so congrats.
Absolutely. Have a great night, Daniel, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Yep, we'll do. And I think That's gonna wrap it up here momentarily. Before we say goodbye to you guys and say happy Halloween, let's run through the final finishing order.
Yeah, we have Robbie Armstrong picking up his first career win, leading 14 laps. Jeffrey Meyer coming home second. Daniel Holloway third. Jordan Berry with a nice top 5 finish for him. Richard Springer coming home fifth. Adam Faree leading 64 laps tonight, comes home in sixth place. Steven Sims, the pole sitter tonight, 22 laps led, comes home seventh. David Lendahl, a nice top 10 for him, coming home eighth. Same with Cody Barber, who led one lap. He comes home ninth. Adam Breeden, one lap down, finishes in the 10th position.
Yeah, that's a great run for Barber and Breeden. I mean, they've definitely shown massive improvement throughout the last couple of months. Adam Purcell, 11th, so that's 5 dysfunctional Patriot trucks within the top 11 there. Austin Collins in 12th place, not the night he was looking for. Neither can be said the same for Jarrett Rogers, his teammate, 3 laps down in 13th. Cody Gatsky brings it home 14th. Dakota Wilkins, a tough night for him as he and Jordan Berry got together, and that kind of ruined his night off turn 2. Roy Grande, 16th, a real big heartbreak for Terrence Sine. Led 50 laps early on. Looked like nobody can catch him, and then a pit road mistake put him in the back of the field, and then he got caught up in the wreck that Wilkins was involved in. Trent Helt comes home in 16th, and running out the field is Matt Vanderkooi in the 72 truck.
Taking a look at the point standings, this was prior to tonight. Jeffrey Meyer is the points leader. He had 26 bonus points going into this round, so he's looking very good. And the second place finish tonight really helps out. Richard Springer had a 6-point cushion. Adam Faree as well had a 6-point cushion. Daniel Holloway was fourth with he has 3 bonus points this season, but so does the 5th, 6th, and 7th place drivers. They all have a win, so 3 bonus points for all of them. They're all tied going into this race. So coming out, Wilkins is going to take a hit, as well as Collins and Rogers. So it's going to be interesting to see how these points shake out and who will be the final 4 advancing to Homestead. It's going to be a tight one, that's for sure.
It sure will, and basically what that means, a non-playoff driver winning, that means at least 2 drivers now will make it on points.
That is a very interesting fact. Robbie Armstrong winning tonight definitely will play a huge factor into the next 2 races. Taking a look at the next race for the Dynasty Racing League Truck Series. It is the Texas 150 at Texas Motor Speedway. That is Wednesday, November 6th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for 100 laps on the 1.5-mile track. The next broadcast for DRL TV will be the Dynasty Racing League Cup Series Texas 250. That is Monday, November 4th, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for 167 laps. Well, Taylor, that was an exciting finish, and Robbie Armstrong getting his first career Dynasty Racing League win is a phenomenal way to end the night for him. Great race all around, very limited on the cautions, and we saw great door-to-door racing throughout the entire event.
And certainly these guys got to be proud of what the show they put on tonight. Terrific racing all the way around. Very clean for the most part. Of course, we're going to get some bumper-to-bumper contact here on a half-mile short track, but very well done by these guys. And congrats again to Robbie. First win, definitely long overdue, and it's awesome to see.
Well, that'll do it here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This was the Dynasty Racing League Truck Series Martinsville 150. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you next week at Texas. Have a great night.